Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Pete on the beat. In this video I would like to discuss with you a few things related to the paleo that you probably already know that I'm a huge proponent of the paleo principles. Many of the paleo principles, I use them, I incorporate them in my daily lifestyle with the 1 meal a day plan and the muscle building and whatnot. So without further ado, before I say everything I want to say, I would like to give you something like a brief explication of what exactly the paleo diet or the caveman lifestyle or the primal lifestyle, as a lot of people prefer to call it, basically is. So the backbone concept, if I can put it like this, the foundation of the whole diet is the idea to consume whole, organic, non-processed foods that are like highest possible quality whole foods, relying on whole foods. Most of the people who are advocates of the caveman diet, they basically believe that this is the most essential way for humans to live. On the other hand, the whole diet, the whole concept is mostly inspired by the way of living of our ancestors. They were hunter-gatherers, those were the cavemen, you probably already know this. So the whole food pyramid of the paleo diet is based around things like complete proteins, mostly complete proteins such as wild-caught, highest possible quality. Again, I would like to point this out because I definitely believe this is one of the things that really makes the paleo diet stand out amongst other diets or other concepts. So like fatty fishes, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, grass-fed meats such as grass-fed bison, what else? Grass-fed beef, of course, some organic free-range eggs, plenty of coconut oils, vegetable oils, olive oils, some nuts and seeds, free of any types of pesticides, vegetables and all that good stuff. This diet most definitely has large variety of foods. So the first thing that I would like to discuss with you is the fact that there is a huge misconception going, because plenty of people believe that a paleo diet or a proper paleo diet is necessary a high-fat, low-carb / ketogenic diet. And here I would like to explain you that this can be true if you prefer to stay in ketosis. This is true for me, like I prefer to stay in ketosis, but not necessarily true for the whole diet. Because the whole diet, like the whole paleo concept, includes things like safe starches, tubers, sweet potatoes, squash, pumpkin, plenty of nuts and seeds, and those foods are not keto-friendly foods. You're not gonna be able to enter the deep state of ketosis if you consume those foods. But on the other hand, you can definitely follow a ketogenic diet that is paleo diet as well. And this is basically what I do. This is exactly what I do. All of the foods that I'm showing you, they are actually paleo and keto approved. This is the thing that I do in combination with the 1 meal a day plan and the muscle building. But in general, it's all about picking the right food sources from the whole pyramid and doing the proper modifications on your macros. And yes, you're gonna be able to stay on a ketogenic diet. I prefer to stay on the meats and eggs and fishes side of things, and they're paleo as well. I hope that makes sense. So the second thing that I would like to discuss is a bit weird, because I'm not so sure why this happens, but I feel like I really want to discuss this with you. So as we all probably know, all of those cavemen, they were hunter-gatherers, so they have been hunting the biggest part of the day, if I can put it like this. During this hunting period, throughout this hunting period, they were in the fasted state. So in my personal opinion, this intermittent fasting thing that is really close to the warrior diet, that is really close to the OMAD, to the 1 meal a day plan, it's something like the second part of the coin, the other part of the coin, or the second part of the equation. And I am not so sure why most of the paleo proponents or most of the people who really like to follow paleo diet, they prefer to neglect the second part of the equation. And believe it or not, in my personal opinion, this is extremely weird, because the paleo diet is like the ultimate diet to follow if you really want to do a 1 meal a day plan. Especially when it comes to training on 1 meal a day, especially if you really want to build that muscle on 1 meal a day plan, I do believe next to the completely ketogenic paleo diet, the conventional paleo diet, if I can put it like this, with the larger variety of foods, is the best thing. Hands down. If for some reason you really don't like or you really don't want to stay on a ketogenic diet, I do believe this is your best option when it comes to building muscle on 1 meal a day plan. This is like the ultimate tool you can use. Actually, the 1 meal a day is the ultimate tool you can apply to this diet, but as you probably already know, what I preach is that is the foundation, and that is the foundation. So I'm not so sure why all of those people do not apply the second part of the equation, which is adopting some form of an intermittent fasting protocol on top of the paleo diet. And the third thing that I would like to discuss is more on the fitness side of things. You probably wonder, if you watch this video, can you build muscle on this diet? Can you build muscle following this diet if you do the 1 meal a day plan? Most definitely, as I've mentioned, this is one of your best choices, one of the two best choices. But there is a tiny detail I definitely encourage you to pay attention to if you're interested in building muscle on 1 meal a day plan. Plenty of the paleo gurus, they promote this statement that the best meats you can consume, because definitely those are the most nutritious meats, are the organ meats, because of their micronutrient content. You probably already know this. If not, I suggest you to Google this out. But on the other hand, if you're someone who is interested in improving his or her physique, someone who breaks down muscle tissue on a day-to-day basis, someone who goes beast mode at the gym every day, like 5 times a week, or for example 2 times a day, oftentimes, I definitely encourage you, do not neglect the importance of the proper protein intake. This is something that is extremely important, and I see plenty of people prefer to neglect this thing. I'm not so sure why. If you stay on a paleo diet, it really doesn't matter if it's paleo diet, completely ketogenic diet, 1 meal or not 1 meal a day plan. If you do not consume adequate for you amounts of protein, your body is not going to be able to rebuild and recover. And this is actually the reason why plenty of fitness enthusiasts feel like crap on a completely ketogenic diet that is like conventional ketogenic diet, like 80% fat, because they feel like crap, and they believe this is because they are not able to reach the state of ketosis and whatnot. No, it's because they do not consume enough protein, and they feel like they overtrain, and they actually overtrain because their bodies are not able to recover. So if you do the proper adjustments on your protein intake, this is one of your best options, hands down. Like, just because I prefer to go completely ketogenic 80% of the time doesn't mean you should do the exact same thing such as I do. This is just a personal preference, and this personal preference, I can ensure, it's not based on muscle building purposes. It's based on well-being purposes, on cognitive performance purposes, if I can put it like this, and simply feeling better about myself type of purposes. This is the reason. Those are the only reasons actually, but I still consume some of the safe starches occasionally. So again, can you build muscle on paleo diet with or without 1 meal a day plan? Most definitely you can. And the last thing that I would like to discuss, it is again related to the muscle building subject, with or without the 1 meal a day plan. This is not scientifically proven. The thing that I'm about to say is most definitely, or at least I'm not so sure if it is a scientifically proven thing, but it is based on my personal experience. You're gonna be able to build more muscle with less quantity of food on this diet, because all of those high quality proteins, if you really prioritize the importance of your protein intake, especially for the people who already carry sufficient amount of muscle mass, for the people who hit a body part or just train more frequently, even with full body workouts than the other people, their bodies are able to synthesize proteins a lot more effectively. So pay attention to this one. If you're one of those guys or one of those girls, you're probably gonna feel a lot better with slightly more protein than the other guys. So if you do not feel that well on moderate protein, up your protein intake and see from there. Plenty of people feel extremely well and do extremely well on moderate protein, but the people who already have sufficient amount of muscle mass and the people who prefer to hit a body part more and more frequently, such as I do, or they do full body workouts, upper lower splits, their bodies synthesize proteins a lot more effectively. So pay attention to this one. So back on the subject with less is more on the paleo diet, as long as for the proteins and the muscle building. When you consume those extremely high quality products, those complete proteins with all of those vitamins, omega-3s from the fishes, the fatty fishes like salmon, wild-caught trout, wild-caught salmon, or the B12 or the B vitamins in general from the grass-fed meats, grass-fed beef and all that, you're going to be able to build more muscle and lose more fat. This is my personal experience. This is what happens to me, because all of those chemicals, all of those antibiotics, believe it or not, they can definitely interfere with the fat burning processes. If you do not believe me, I definitely encourage you to Google this out. I feel like I'm able to build way more muscle and recover way better with less amount of food when I consume those foods vs like buying the cheapest chicken breast. Because as you probably already know, chicken breasts, lean chicken breast is something that is staple in every fitness enthusiast or bodybuilder diet. You probably already know this. You can still use those types of foods, but they will be like the highest possible quality. And on the other hand, if you do not buy and you don't waste your money on those pointless whey protein shakes or BCAAs, you're gonna be able to reinvest those money in some grass-fed beef or whatever you prefer to consume. It really depends on your personal preferences or your personal taste. So just in case you want to find out more, guys, I definitely encourage you to visit the link in the description box down below, and you're gonna be able to read the full article that is related to this video, and I discuss this subject in the article. So yeah, make sure to click on the link in the description box down below. So yeah, guys, this is basically everything. I hope everything I said makes sense. I would like to thank you for watching this video and good work with your paleo diet, muscle building on your paleo diet with the 1 meal a day plan and whatnot. Peace. Me personally, I'm not inspired by the idea of the caveman. I'm mostly inspired by the idea of combining like paleo foods with old school principles in order to get like space age mental performance and futuristic gains. Peace!